Hi folks, Rodney back again with Rodney's Northwest Ride and Reviews. Today I was headed out to the Bohemian Mines, which is about 45 miles outside of Cottage Grove. I'm in Oregon, and these are old gold mines is where I was headed. And I had a feeling I was going to run into snow once I get close to the top. There has been some downed trees in the past. I wasn't 100% sure I was going to be able to make it up there anyway. So I decided to come in kind of on the backside. And I've never been this way before. But coming in, it's extremely steep coming up on this side, and run into the same situation where I had a tree down and wasn't able to make it all the way to the top. But in the process, because it's so steep and kind of GoPro never seems to do grades either up or down any type of justice. But anyway, it's really rocky. You can see this truck up there. Like I said, I got up there. Unfortunately, I had to turn around. Had to back down quite a ways before I could actually get to a place to turn around. But anyway, it's going to give me a great opportunity, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what crawl control looks like if you haven't seen it or used it before. And some of the benefits like downhill assist. And like I said, you can use crawl control either going up or down. So it's going to be a great opportunity to kind of show you how that actually works. The one thing that I do want to kind of talk about real quick, I'm going to give you kind of an inventory update. And so in the last two allocations, we've only received, now I'm speaking for our region, and I'm in the Portland region. Been in our region, we've only received 3,500 vehicles, and that's everything. So when you look at that, that kind of averages out to about 45 units per vehicle or per dealership. Now some obviously are smaller than others, so some of them are getting more, but then some of them are also getting considerably less too. But anyway, 45 vehicles per dealership. And you know, when I looked at, I haven't seen allocations this time around, but last time, you know, we only got a few Tundras. So, you know, it's looking kind of slim right now. Obviously, we still have supply chain issues, and, you know, there's other things that are kind of slowing down production. So anyway, try to be patient there. I've had a few viewers here recently asking about the 1794 edition. The 1794 edition is the hardest Tundra to come across. It's harder than a Tundra Tier D Pro, which that's already a limited availability to begin with. So if you're looking for a 1794 or you're waiting because you've put an order in, folks, you may never get that truck. And I'm just trying to be blunt with you. I'm not trying to, you know, I've always said that I would be 100% honest with you and give you, you know, the best information I possibly could. And that, unfortunately, is the best information that is out there. They're just extremely hard to come by. So anyway, you guys have been sending in your VIN numbers. I'll be more than happy to check the status, you know, for you. If you have a vehicle that you want to order, or maybe you put a deposit down on an allocation that's coming in, I'd be more than happy to check that for you. So go on ahead and keep sending me those VIN numbers. Also recently, I've had a couple people, and I'm going to get out of the sun for a moment, but I've had a few people that have asked about build dates. And so when you order a vehicle, I've seen the build date get changed sometimes up to about a week, maybe 2 weeks max. And I've heard several people say, well, my build date's gotten changed several different times, and you know, it was like 2 months prior. Folks, something's not right about that. Like I said, I've seen a build date get changed as much as 2 weeks, but I've never seen it get changed more than that. So if a dealership's telling you that the build date's being changed, probably they haven't received an allocation, and the vehicle just hasn't been accepted yet and hasn't been started in the build process. It's really frustrating as a salesperson to be able to have customers that want a vehicle, but yet you can't get that vehicle built for them. And so one of the things that I've seen some dealerships do, and I don't condone this whatsoever, is they'll take deposits on vehicles not knowing when they'll be able to get you a truck. And so what they'll do is I've heard some people say even they will take a non-refundable deposit. Folks, I would really consider not doing that, and here's the reason why. Number one, if they're asking for a non-refundable deposit, sounds like they're kind of just trying to take you out of the market. And what I mean by that is that, you know, if everybody is trying to sell you a Tundra, you know, everybody's trying to, you know, kind of fight for your business. If they can promise you, you know, they'll get you a truck within a certain period of time and it'll be exactly what you want, and take that non-refundable deposit and take you out of the market, they think that they're going to hold you loyal. And so the problem is, like I said, right now, allocations are so hard to come by to begin with. I would really consider not putting a non-refundable deposit down, because if something happens that they can't get you that truck, let's say it's 2 years down the road and they still haven't provided a truck for you, you can be pretty frustrated. So anyway, consider not doing that. And like I said, people will ask, well, what's the best way to get a truck then? Well, honestly, I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket. So, I would reach out to several different dealerships to see what they have coming in. If you're wanting to put a deposit down, on a vehicle coming in, by all means, go for it. If you're a little bit flexible, you probably have a much better chance of getting a new truck. But on the other hand, if you're wanting to hold out and get exactly what you want, which is totally understandable, it's a lot of money to spend on a new truck, and by all means, you should be able to get what you want, but unfortunately, Toyota's not set up that way. So for anybody who has not watched any of my videos or seen my channel before, so Toyota's not like GM or Ford. They don't take orders for people to put in exactly what they want. What they do is they take what they call a preference, and that means that you're submitting an order. This is what you'd like to have. Here's my list of wants, and then they go on ahead and see what they have that's available as far as supplies and features to build that truck. And they'll go on ahead and give that dealership an allocation, providing they earn one. And then once they get that allocation, they can go on ahead and start building that truck. And it may not have 100% of what you're looking for on it. They're going to go in and send it to the dealership anyway. So let's say, for instance, that order got accepted, but they only built part of it and sent it to the dealership. And the dealership's like, well, I've got this one coming in. What do you think about this? Are you flexible on it? Nope, I want exactly what I want. Okay, well, we'll just have to wait around till the next time. And so that one comes and goes. And, then you kind of start that waiting process all over again. And it can be a long wait. Like I said, I've heard some people saying, well over a year now, and they still have no, end zone in sight. So anyway, like I said, I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket. I would just kind of check around and see what dealerships have something coming in. And if you're a little bit flexible, you're definitely going to stand a much better chance of, getting a vehicle much sooner. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this here, but I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I'm going to throw in using crawl control. And there's some areas that I'll be going down now, but the areas I'm going down to that are much steeper than what we're at right here. Probably seeing a 10, probably a 10% grade. It's hard to tell on the scale, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a few minutes. But it's a little difficult to understand, what exact percentage of grade you're going up or down. But I'll show you how the cameras work for the Panorama View Monitor, or terrain monitor, some people call it. And then just kind of explain things as I'm going down the trail. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch, and let's go for a ride. Okay, so we're in the truck. We're getting ready to head down this road here. And I don't know what you want to call it, a trail or a road. It's pretty rocky, so I wouldn't call it much of a road. But anyway, I'm in 4 low already. I'm going to go ahead and start the downhill assist or crawl control. Okay, so the crawl control is activated there. And you see it's telling you that your limited slip is going to be turned off. So now you can set the speed that you want. And so what you do in order to do that is you turn the dial. And so as I turn the dial, you can see the speed changing on the crawl control itself. All right, so I'm taking my foot off the brake. So it is coming down in crawl control itself. Now if I'm going to speed it up a hair. All right, on the screen, you can see your pitch, and that's the angle in which we're going down. So you've got side views here, and those are using the mirrors There's cameras underneath both of the side view mirrors, and then there's a camera in the front. And so as you can see all the rocks and stuff that we're going over there. And that's all crawl control. I'm not using the brake whatsoever. I don't know if you can see off over the cliff there. It's quite a ways down for sure. Now on the Tacomas and the 4Runners, when you engage crawl control, man, it makes a racket. And it's, if you've ever stepped on your brakes and the analog braking system comes on, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. It just makes it go clatter, just like a clattering noise. And the crawl control in the Tundra does not do that at all. In fact, you can't hear anything. All right, so we're kind of over the rougher stuff here, so we'll speed up a little bit. Now, crawl control only works in 4-wheel drive low, so it has to be in 4 low before that will work. You do have a locking rear axle. I have not engaged that yet. I didn't need to when I was coming up, and you know, the ground's pretty dry, so the traction's pretty good. So there wasn't any need to use the locking rear axle. You do have a few different views. So you could have a view of just the front there. You can get it out the back. Back to the view we had. And that's on the side view mirrors and then also out the back. Now, you can override the system by stepping on the gas, and you could still step on the brake and completely stop the vehicle. Now, your Panorama View Monitor, you can set it up and you can see an auto setting there, and that's the auto setting automatically comes on when you get under 10 miles per hour. Obviously, when you engage your crawl control, it's going to stay on all the time. Now, one of the cool things about the Panorama View Monitor is you can see, so like for instance, you can see the tree right there, and you can see as it comes down here. Now you can see right there beside beside the truck there, how close you are to it. And so it's really cool to be able to have all of those features. Like for instance, you can see, you know, branches and stuff on the side. And of course you can see right here how close you are to them as well. Okay, here's some pretty good rocks that we're going over right now, so I'm going to slow down just a hair. And then I'm going to stop once I get past them. And I'm going to put it in reverse just so you can see how crawl control works going uphill. So I have my foot off the gas. All I'm doing is steering. And crawl control is doing everything else. And you can see the rocks as we're going over them there. Pretty amazing what it'll do. Okay, you can see the rocks there, how rough it is. And you know, obviously using your brakes, you could slow down and go over those easy. But using the crawl control, it's gonna allow me to just kind of crawl over the rocks. Speed up just a hair. Now going downhill is not as big a deal, but coming uphill, it really makes a difference. And you know, when you're trying to give the truck some gas and you know, make sure you got adequate traction and then crawling over the top of the rocks as well, you know, it can definitely be, I won't say daunting, but you know, it's like you're having to consider a bunch of different things all at one time. And crawl control basically does everything for you. Speed up until we get to the next area here. So here's an area, I'm gonna slow down now, where crawl control, especially coming up, it's just as seamless going up as it was coming down. Okay, I've turned around and you can see as we're getting ready to go up this, I want to show you the difference between using crawl control and just using your regular four-wheel drive. So currently I'm in four-wheel drive low, crawl control is off. So it's making it up it with no problem. But one of the things that you run into is once it starts bouncing a little bit, so depending on how fast you're trying to go, once it starts bouncing, it kind of loses traction a little bit. And then, you know, it's kind of hard to keep, you know, steady foot pressure on the throttle. Okay, I'm going to engage the crawl control now. And we're going to go up that same area. So once again, all I'm doing is steering. Foot's off the throttle. I've set the speed that I wanted through the crawl control. So there again, I don't know that it was a big deal, you know, the crawl control over the regular four-wheel drive low. But the biggest difference is, you know, you have that constant throttle control. And so it's using your analog braking system on each individual wheel and, you know, enables you to, you know, keep traction on all four corners and then have a constant speed. So, all right, I'm gonna back up and we're gonna turn around here. So this is another cool feature, you know, about having the Panorama View Monitor or Terrain Monitor, is that you can see how close you are. And then you also have your parking assist, so if you're getting ready to back up into a tree or a rock or something, you know, that will start beeping too. Like I just did there. And somebody who's an experienced off-roader may not see that real benefit, but you know, for somebody who just does it occasionally, it's definitely something to appreciate. Keep that in mind. You guys continue to take advantage. Send me your VIN number. I'll check the status for you. If your vehicle has already been built, keep in mind that it's already switched from a temporary VIN number that is issued when it's first assigned or going to be allocated, and then it goes to a permanent VIN number. So be sure and send me that permanent VIN number if the vehicle's already been built. If not, send me the temporary VIN and I can at least tell you when it's going to be built. So appreciate you guys watching the videos. If you have any questions, any comments, please take the time to send them my way. Like and subscribe. I do have weekly content coming out. You know, like I said, I just got an opportunity to check out the crawl control, and great information. I'd never actually used it myself, and so it was kind of a learning experience for me. The one thing that I did find, and I mentioned in the video, is that the Tacoma and the 4Runner, when you engage the crawl control on those vehicles, it makes a racket, and it sounds just like your analog braking system when you step on the brake, like in a lockup situation. It's got that real clatter that you hear. And the Tundra, you don't hear that at all. It's so seamless. You know, the great thing about it is you set the type of terrain that you're on, and then you set the crawl control, and you get to adjust the speed, and it does everything else for you. All you do is steer. So, you know, it's a great mechanical aspect and feature of the vehicle that you can get with the TRD Off-Road and also the TRD Pro. But those are the only vehicles that's going to come with that feature. So anyway, like I said, if you guys have any questions, any comments, send them my way. And check out the other video I did on the crawl control. Thanks for watching.